Picture this. You're sitting in your car after another argument. The air feels heavy, like a battlefield long after the noise has stopped. You replay every word, every gesture, trying to figure out what you did wrong. Because you cared. You listened. You gave her everything she said she wanted. But somewhere along the way, her tone changed. Her warmth turned to ice. Her respect vanished. They told you caring would win her heart. But the truth? The more you tried to prove your worth, the cheaper it became. This is the betrayal every modern man faces. The illusion that love is earned through effort, instead of presence. You thought your kindness would anchor her. You thought consistency would make her feel safe. But what it really did was make you predictable. And in her world, predictable means disposable. It's not that she wanted you to be cruel. She just wanted to feel your power. The moment she sensed you'd trade your self-respect for her approval, the dynamic shifted. She stopped seeing you as a man to admire, and started seeing you as a man to manage. Every man learns this the hard way. The day he realizes that caring too much doesn't bring her closer, it pushes her away. And in that silence, that cold withdrawal, he learns the first law of attraction. The one who needs less controls more. For thousands of years, survival shaped attraction. Before there were words like love or relationships, there was only one question in her subconscious mind. Can he protect me? That question still lives inside her, hidden beneath the surface of every interaction. When she feels your calm in chaos, something ancient inside her relaxes. When she feels your desperation, something ancient inside her recoils. The indifferent man, the one who moves slowly, who doesn't chase, who remains centered, triggers a primal recognition. He doesn't need me, he chooses me. And that difference changes everything. Because to her nervous system, neediness equals danger. It signals instability. A man who might crumble under pressure, who seeks comfort more than conquest. But indifference, calm detachment, it signals abundance. It whispers that your world doesn't revolve around her, that you've conquered yourself first. That's why the man who doesn't care seems magnetic. His silence feels like strength. His unpredictability feels like leadership. He mirrors the hunter her ancestors trusted, the one who faced uncertainty and didn't flinch. So understand this, brother. What she calls confidence is often just emotional control. What she calls mystery is simply a man who doesn't need to prove himself. And what she calls respect is her biology bowing to your composure. Here's how it works. Not romantically, but neurologically. Attraction is not logical, it's chemical. The human brain runs on dopamine, the neurotransmitter of desire. And dopamine doesn't respond to comfort. It responds to contrast. When you're always available, always reassuring, always chasing, her dopamine flatlines. You become predictable, safe, ordinary. But the moment you pull back, when your energy becomes uncertain, when you stop responding instantly, her brain lights up. Suddenly, you're no longer comfort, you're challenge. It's the chase-reward circuit, the same pattern that drives addiction, ambition, and obsession. The brain releases dopamine not when it gets the reward, but when it anticipates it. That anticipation, that tension, is the essence of attraction. You see, the man who doesn't care isn't careless. He's disciplined. He doesn't give his attention freely because he knows attention is currency. He doesn't chase validation because he knows it weakens the frame. She feels it. in the tone of your silence, in your lack of reaction. Every test she throws your way is a measurement of one thing: your ability to stay composed under emotional pressure. Fail that test by over-explaining, by pleading, by trying to fix her feelings, and the chemistry dies instantly. Pass it through calm detachment and quiet confidence, and her curiosity ignites. Remember this, brother. Attraction isn't built through affection. It's built through uncertainty. And the man who controls that tension controls the connection. It always starts small. She takes a little longer to reply. Her tone shifts, lighter, detached, distracted. You feel it, that cold undertone, that fading spark. And your first instinct is to fix it, to chase, to show her you still care. You double text. You apologize for things that weren't your fault. You start conversations she's no longer interested in having. And every time you do, she respects you a little less. Because beneath her silence isn't confusion, it's calculation. She's observing your reaction. She wants to know, does this man lose composure when he feels me slipping away? Or does he hold the line? Case study 1. A man sends her good morning messages every day for months.
She used to respond instantly. Now, her replies come hours later, colder, shorter. He panics. He sends more texts, longer paragraphs. Within weeks, she's gone. Not because she stopped liking him, but because he taught her he'll always be there, no matter how she treats him. Case study 2. Another man plays it differently. When she withdraws, he stays calm. He doesn't chase. He focuses on his work, his gym, his mission. Within days, she reaches out again, this time curious, respectful, even nervous. You see, women feel attraction through contrast. The more reactive you are, the less magnetic you become. The less you respond, the more she questions her own position. So learn to read the signs. When she goes quiet, it's not a cry for attention. It's a test of presence. When she grows distant, she's watching to see if you'll fall apart. And when you don't, that's when respect returns. Look around, brother. Every message you've ever heard about love, kindness, and relationships was designed to weaken you. They told you to be sensitive, to open up, to prove that you're not like other men. They said vulnerability would make her trust you. But they forgot to mention, women are only vulnerable with men they already respect. You were never taught to lead, only to please, to trade your backbone for approval, to see empathy as strength, even when it turned you into a servant. That's not an accident. That's conditioning. A cultural design meant to domesticate the modern man, to strip you of polarity, the masculine edge that commands respect without demanding it. Every movie, every song, every influencer sells you the same lie. Just care more. Show her you're different. But caring more in a world that rewards indifference is self-destruction disguised as virtue. Modern dating apps amplify this imbalance. Endless validation loops where men compete for attention and women control the narrative. It's not love anymore. It's a marketplace of emotion. And the currency is your effort. Understand this. They don't want you calm. They want you compliant. Because a compliant man is easy to control, easy to replace, easy to discard. But a man who's centered, who doesn't flinch, who doesn't beg, who doesn't care, he can't be manipulated. He operates outside the system, and that's why the world quietly fears him. Then it happens, the silence. You stare at your phone waiting for her reply that never comes. Hours pass, then days. You tell yourself she's just busy, but deep down, you already know. You start to spiral. Every thought becomes a negotiation. What did I say? What if I just explain one more time? So you reach out again, you try to fix it. You pour your heart out, and still, nothing. That feeling in your chest, the tightness, the ache, It isn't heartbreak, it's withdrawal. Your brain, deprived of her validation, begins to crave the hit. You weren't addicted to her, you were addicted to the dopamine rush of being wanted. This is the collapse, the emotional detox every man faces when his illusion breaks. You thought you were building love, but you were feeding dependence. The truth is cruel. You taught her she could take your peace without consequence. You gave her everything she didn't earn, and in doing so, you made it worthless. And now you're left with silence, a silence that feels like death. But listen closely, brother. That silence is also your rebirth. It's the moment you stop living for her response and start reclaiming your own gravity. Because every man who's ever risen above heartbreak began in that same darkness, staring at a screen, realizing the only person he needed to hear from was himself. Here's the part most men refuse to accept. You can't make her love you by caring harder. You can't earn respect through emotion. Because respect isn't requested, it's recognized. Every woman feels it instinctively. The man who centers his world around her becomes part of her orbit. The man who stands still while she spins around him becomes her gravity. That's the unspoken truth of polarity. She doesn't want your endless reassurance. She wants your steadiness. She doesn't want you to mirror her feelings. She wants to feel yours and trust they won't break. When she senses that your mood, your peace, your confidence depend on her reaction, she loses interest. Not because she's cruel, but because her biology reads instability as danger. To her subconscious, emotion without control is weakness, and weakness never inspires desire. You see, the world has confused kindness with submission. It told you that patience means silence, and compassion means obedience. But true masculinity isn't about suppressing emotion, it's about commanding it. The man who doesn't care doesn't lack empathy. He simply refuses to trade self-respect for affection. He chooses calm over chaos, direction over drama, purpose over need. That's why she'll test you, push you, even provoke you, not to hurt you, but to see if she can shake you. If she can't, something inside her softens. If she can, something inside her dies. So here's the bitter truth, brother. Every woman respects the man who doesn't care. Because deep down, she knows he's the only kind of man who can't be controlled. So what do you do now, brother? How do you rebuild when you've been burned, ignored, dismissed, even when you thought you were giving your all? You start by reclaiming yourself. Step 1. Silence. Stop reacting to every ping, every message, every emotion she projects. Let your absence speak. Let your calm become your loudest statement. Step 2. Mission. Anchor your energy in purpose. Your work, your craft, your fitness, your ambitions. Make these non-negotiable. Women respect men who move the world, not men who orbit theirs. Step 3. Discipline. Control your impulses, your words, your need for validation. Master the inner battlefield. Each time you resist chasing, you reinforce your gravity. Step 4. Sovereignty. Become the center of your own universe. Your identity cannot depend on her attention or approval. Your value must exist independently of external recognition. Because when you stop chasing peace in others, you create it within yourself. And that's when the shift occurs. Not with manipulation, not with cruelty, not with games, but with presence, composure, and relentless self-mastery. The man who doesn't care isn't numb. He's free. He's anchored. He's respected. And the ultimate truth, brother, the one that every man must realize, respect is never given to the desperate. It's always earned by the indifferent. The moment you stop needing it is the moment she gives it willingly.
That is the law of attraction. That is the law of masculinity. Your job now? Live it. Own it. And let the world, and every woman, witness the gravity of a man who cannot be shaken.